Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor, and like all our angling sessions, they don't begin when we drop our gear on the bank. In fact, we have to prepare in advance, and in this instance, as you can see, I'm in the kitchen boiling hemp. I've boiled my hemp. If ever you do go down that road, you have a couple of options really. You can buy sacks of hemp, which is obviously cheaper, but you need to do the preparation yourself, or you can buy ready prepared stuff. I like to buy the sack because I do get through quite a bit in the course of a year, and you boil it just simply really, simmer it away until the shoots start to show, the little white bits come out on the seed, it starts to go soft, you know that it's ready. And then you need to wash it because it does take on a lot of colour from the seed itself, so you need to wash it. You can do that before as well, of course, but you need to do it afterwards. And then this is what you've got. So I've got a nice tub of hemp there, and to the hemp I'm actually adding some corn steep liquor. Now that's a great favourite of mine, and it was all the rage some years ago amongst the carpers, probably dropped off a little bit, but if you're not into trends and fads, and I don't say that in a negative way of course, if you just genuinely into your products for what they do for you, then as I've continued to do, I've fished with this regardless. But it is still well used, and so to that I'm going to add just a small amount. I'm not going to do it now because I want to measure it exactly, don't want to put too much in, and that of course when it's all mixed round, I'll leave that to soak, and that will be perfect for when I get on the bank. Well, I'm ready to head off for the gravel pit now. As you can see, my car's loaded, and it's no exaggeration if I say that I take more fishing gear with me on a couple of nights than I do when my wife and I go on holiday for a couple of weeks. So all the stuff that I've got with me, you can see there, the rods, there's my bait, the hemp that I cooked earlier, and there's my shelter, not taking a bivvy but just an open shelter. It's the summer after all, even though it is quite cold. Got my food bag there, got some stuff there to keep me going. There's my rucksack, sleeping bag over there, underneath got my bed chair, pod and barrow. So let's go. Bankside, and as you can probably see here, I've got my shelter up. What I always like to do is to get fishing as quickly as I can. So ordinarily the things that I get set up first, my rods, pod, bank sticks, whatever, get that bait in the water. Don't forget landing net. How many times have we cast out and thought, oh no, landing net's not done. Get all that set up, and then you get your shelter and bed chair afterwards. But we've got some strong winds. They've been coming in already, and some heavy rain, and that's forecast for the next couple of days. So the first thing I did was got my shelter up. It's one of those that you can adjust to different levels, and I've got it quite low, just really above the height of my bed chair. I'll show you that later. So getting in and out, it's 'cause it's got like an edge on it as well, a lip on it. Getting in and out, it's like potholing, so it's quite claustrophobic inside there. But the most important thing is stay dry and stay protected from the elements. You wouldn't think this was the summer, would you? Anyway, let's get this pod up, and I'll get cast out. And even as I'm speaking, the sun's just come out, and you think, what's this doing here? Well, 10 minutes ago it was absolutely tipping it down with rain. There's my shelter. As you can see, the bed chair inside. As I said, it's quite low down, which is good for these conditions. Although at the moment the sun is out, and you wouldn't think that we've had some heavy rain, and more to come. Well, I'm outside my cave, and the rods are out there fishing now. No doubt you can hear the Canada geese in the background. I've just had a common turn just to the side of me, patrolling up and down the gravel pit. I thought at this stage I would go through my my bait. You've already seen the hemp and how that's prepared. I've actually used a ground bait catapult to put it out. I'm not fishing a great distance. Being a gravel pit, there is a good depth of water in front of me, so 4 lengths out I've got a good depth of water. So I'm just putting the bait out there. I have actually been on this particular place before, and in the article You'll read all about that. It was some years ago, but I did catch bream, and I have been here recently, and the photograph that you've just seen on the screen, well, that was the fish that I caught just a few days ago. So I'm back to do some serious business this time. Right, the bait. Well, as I said, you've seen the hemp. There's some corn. That's ordinary standard supermarket corn. I'm going to put some of that out with the hemp to create a nice bed of feed. Hemp's brilliant because in a catapult pouch full, particularly a ground bait catapult, you've probably got certainly hundreds of different seeds, and that's what you want. You want the fish to come in and pick up something and then become preoccupied. Before they know it, they're feeding, aren't they? Because they'll come along, maybe just swimming on a patrol route, find a little grain of corn, find a piece of hemp, and then another, and then before you realise it, or they realise it, they're actually feeding. And I've put my bait over a reasonable sized area, not massive, about living room size over each rod. So I'm really confident. I'm actually putting out some boilies as well. There's the alarm. Putting out some boilies as well. They are lobworm boilie, and on the hook bait, this is it's the SBS Premium Pop-Up range. This is the lobworm pop-up, and in this particular tub, don't know if you can see there, but there are different sizes, 12mm and 14mm. I've actually got 16mm on the hook. It might seem quite big really for bream fishing, but bear in mind I am targeting some decent fish. I don't want to catch small ones. This is a particular place where if you fish small baits, you get, inverted commas, pestered by fish all night long. I would sooner sit it out, catch one good one, rather than 20 or 30 2 or 3 pounders. So that's my my bait approach. I am dipping my my hook bait as well, and again it's a premium range. It's a bait dip, and of course it's lobworm. So the rods are out. Got a few hours yet to go before dark, so I'll probably cast out again and put some more bait out. But am I confident? Well, I always lay my neck on the line, don't I? And I say yes, I am confident. I had nothing at all in the night. It's now the next day. It's been a pretty bad experience as far as ticking the negative boxes are concerned. In fact, if you could tick all the boxes that work against us in fishing, I think every single one would have been ticked during the last 24 hours. The wind, which is the main one, that's coming in from the north, and it's really severe at times. In fact, the gravel pit looks like it's the sea. It's got white tips on the waves, and the hail that you saw earlier, all of those conditions obviously have affected the temperature. The water temperature has dropped as well, and it's still raining now. You can probably hear it on my shelter, but I'm a great believer that as long as your bait's in the water, you've got a chance, and I've got a chance, and I've got another night as well, so let's see how that goes. What I've got. Oh. It came in like a sack of potatoes, and it's thrashing around now in the margins. I'll tell you something, I'm soaking wet off this fish, but I'm really happy. Right at the end as well. I'll show you that obviously closer up. Brilliant, ready to pack away, and the rod goes off. Fantastic. Well, hardly goes off. It's a bream after all. Brilliant. Well, that was just fantastic. What I'm doing now is I've got the fish resting in the margins. Deeper water, so it's not a problem. And bream are shoal fish, as we know. So I'm baiting up again now. Get the rod out, because there could well be another fish in this. Who knows? Mind you, if not, I'm really happy. I'm on one of those natural highs. 2 nights, nothing at all, and you saw the conditions yesterday. They were horrendous, but I stuck it out, persevered with it, and then right on the final morning, as I was thinking about getting ready to go home, I get a fish. Brilliant. You know, I'm just dipping my bait there, as you can see. Got my dip, and I caught that on 2 16mm lobworm pop-ups. Now you might think that's a bit over the top for bream fishing. That's normally what you go for carp, but there's lots of small fish in this place, and that's been obvious the way I've been getting lots of little plucks and so on during the session. But I don't want to catch those fish. I much prefer to sit it out for a bigger one. Now this isn't massive, I'll show you that in a moment when I've cast out, but considering the conditions and the way it's been against me, I'm more than happy with it. It's not exactly small either, it's not a skimmer, so I'm definitely happy. Right, let's get this out and I'll show you the fish. I'm taking a photo now for my angling journal for the article, and this is how I do it. Excellent. There it is. The fish that's made my day. As I said, not a massive bream as you can see, but still very nice and very welcome. That's the thing with bream fishing, it's a challenge, isn't it, once they get to a certain size. I think this one deserves a kiss. The video comes to an end now. I'm breaking down. Just got the rods at the end, and I'm going to leave in as long as I can. Who knows, I might get a fish then, aren't I? Well, you can always find out by reading the article. You can find that in the description box on the YouTube video that you're watching right now. I don't reply to comments, just a time thing, nothing personal. But if you do want to contact me, I've got a Facebook page that you can check out. I'll put the address on there shortly, and also a Twitter account as well. And if you're out and about yourself, tight lines, and don't forget, persevere, because you never know, right at the very end that fish might come.